He stood there, calm and still, as if he didn't belong anywhere but somehow fit everywhere. That's what she told her boss when he asked who I was. "Oh, he's just here," she said, her voice light, careless. "Not my husband, not my partner, just here." The word hung between us like smoke. I smiled faintly, the kind of smile that hides a storm, then quietly turned and walked out into the cool evening air, closing the door behind me as if it were just another night. A moment later, his phone rang. I stayed on the porch, half hidden by the shadows, watching him through the glass. As he answered, his usual smugness vanished. His expression twisted, his skin turned pale, and his eyes met mine through the reflection. In that instant, fear settled in his face. He understood what was coming. She and I met in college. She was wild and loud where I was quiet and methodical. She made life feel unpredictable, thrilling. Together, we built something that felt solid, a home, a business, a future. I believed in her, believed that chaos could still be loyal. But over time, cracks began to appear. Late nights at the office turned into early mornings at hotels. Laughter became whispers. Perfume I didn't recognize, excuses that didn't make sense. I stayed silent. Silence, after all, has power. It reveals what words try to hide. Then one night, she forgot to close her laptop. A video call was still open, his face smiling back at her, her voice too soft, too familiar. I didn't confront her. I simply closed it, poured myself a drink, and let fury turn into calculation. From that night, I became an observer. I gathered evidence, texts, receipts, call logs, photographs. I noted every lie, every meeting, every detail. And eventually, I found him, her boss, married, wealthy, a man who built his career on image, an image that couldn't afford a crack. So I built my plan, slowly, quietly. I moved our finances, shifted assets, sold my shares, and secured everything under my name. She didn't even notice. Her focus was entirely on her secret world. Then, when I had everything ready, I reached out to his wife. I sent her a message. "You deserve the truth. Meet me tomorrow." When she saw the evidence, she didn't cry or rage. She simply said, "Thank you." Together, we decided how this would end. That night, my wife got ready for dinner. Perfume heavy, lips red, dress shimmering like temptation itself. When he arrived, arrogance clung to him like cologne. He shook my hand, acting as though I were invisible. I poured his drink and stayed silent, the calm before the storm. Then she said it, the sentence that severed everything. "Oh, he's just here." I excused myself, walked outside, and made the call. His wife answered immediately. She was waiting, parked just down the street, the engine running. Within moments, his phone buzzed again. His confident grin fell apart. His hands trembled. Through the window, I watched him realize his secret was no longer secret. His wife had already sent the proof to his company's board. The affair, the fraudulent accounts, the misuse of funds. Within 2 days, the fallout began. Investigations. Headlines. His empire collapsed. She, too, watched it all unfold, confused, scared, realizing too late what she'd helped destroy. When she came home, I was waiting with a calm she didn't understand. I handed her the papers I'd already prepared. Divorce. No shouting, no argument. Just finality. She begged, cried, said she was sorry. I told her forgiveness wasn't something I had left to give. She left the next morning. After she was gone, the house was quiet again, peaceful in a way it hadn't been for years. I stood by the same window, coffee in hand, looking out at the street where I'd watched a man's life unravel. People mistake silence for weakness. They don't realize that silence listens, learns, and waits. And when it finally acts, it doesn't need a shout. It simply ends things with precision. That's how I rebuilt my life. Not with rage, but with quiet resolve. Because sometimes revenge doesn't come in flames. It comes in silence, patient, deliberate, and absolute.